It is more than just a sport. Around here, it is religion. We are in Daytona Beach, Florida, and this is the Daytona International Speedway. We are here at the culmination of the greatest racing week of the year. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton, and welcome to the CBS Sports Spectacular. We have all the big names and all that racing can present right here. We are here for the Twin 125s, the final qualifying before tomorrow's Daytona 500-mile auto race that you will see exclusively on CBS. All of the big names are here. Buddy Baker, Donnie Allison, Cale Yarborough, Richard Petty, and A.J. Foyt, and we are here for all the action. Also on tap today on the CBS Sports Spectacular from R.A. Sweeten, World Cup skiing action. Our fight of the week is the European Welterweight Championship between Henry Riney and the #2 ranked WBC contender Dave Green. We will present highlights of the stunning third and decisive game of the Soviet NHL Challenge Cup. And in addition, we will have the first of two parts of the World Powerlifting Championships from Turku, Finland. A tremendous 90 minutes of sports, action, entertainment, and fun this afternoon.
Driving the modified cars now, and also with the Grand American.
Hey, Stockton, that sounds like a great show. Great to have you in Daytona. Let me take you for a ride.
Ken Squire, you talk a good race, but I don't know if you drive one.
What do you mean? I haven't had a wreck in 3 or 4 hours. Come on, get in.
All right, I'll give it a whirl. See what this is all about.
All right, this is what it's all about.
The CBS Sports Spectacular. Today's show is sponsored by the new 1979 Toyota cars and trucks at your local Toyota dealer. You ask for it, you got it, Toyota. Schlitz Light, with a taste of natural ingredients brewed into a Pilsner beer. And by Gillette, makers of Atra, America's original pivoting head razor.
Ooh! You've got to go around those greens to appreciate it, I'll tell you that. Thank you, Ken Squire. I enjoyed the ride, and we'll be back with the Twin 125s in Daytona later on, but right now. Welcome back to Daytona International. We'll have the first of the 125 qualifying, and of course Ken Squire, who took me around the track earlier, and I came out in one piece thanks to you. We're going into this qualifying race, and we have a lot of big names. Buddy Baker, who established the record qualifying speed. What can we expect?
Well, you can expect everybody's going to want to hitch on to Baker and stay with him, particularly drivers like Cale Yarborough, Benny Parsons, Bobby Allison, David Pearson, who are all in this race.
A star-studded one it is, and let's get underway with it.
And right at the outset, Dick Stockton, notice down on the inside, making the cars 3 deep here, number 67, Buddy Arrington. His car turning out to be a smoker, and that may indeed impair his health for this race. You see him dropping down to the bottom of the racetrack to come in. The other 29 starters coming down, and remember that it's 15 to make it, 15 to go home out of this race.
And the driver they're all chasing is Buddy Baker, and what a week he has had. He won the Busch Clash, which you just saw prior to our show, established a record speed in the qualifier for the pole position for tomorrow's race.
Right, he broke a record that had stood since 1970, turning one lap around this track at 196 miles per hour. And here he goes, toe-to-toe with the man who used to hold the record, Cale Yarborough, up there in turns 1 and 2 on the 31-degree banking for the first time. Side by side as they climb to 190 miles an hour down that back straightaway. And notice Richard Petty making them 3 wide as they go down the back 3,100 foot straight here at the World Center of Speed, Daytona Beach.
Now, Petty did not win a NASCAR race in 1978, and he switched cars from Dodge to Chevrolet to Oldsmobile. Is he happy with this now?
I think he is happy, but he's not happy right now, because watch what happens here. Here's Baker up on the outside in this first 125-mile qualifying race with tremendous horsepower, just surging through the field. Yarborough dropping to the inside. He swept under both automobiles to lead at the end of lap number 1. Now look at Petty moving in there, just driving right up inside of Benny Parsons as they head back into the first turn. You know, Dick, that back straightaway, the way these cars are drafting, is good for 210 miles an hour. That's some kind of rush hour traffic. Here's Parsons again on the attack. Yarborough's on the point, and that is Baker on the attack, and he drives it home. Baker going back out in front. A Herb Knapp prepared automobile. what a phenomenal story here. No one has ever won the pole, come in here in a 125 and won, and then won the 500 except 1962 Fireball Roberts. Can Baker do it this year? This is late in the race. We're now late on the highlights of the first 125. There's Cale in second, and Benny Parsons, the 1975 champion, running third.
This race is determining the spots along the inside row for tomorrow's 500. The drivers immediately behind Buddy Baker in positions 3, 5, 7, 9, and so forth.
Now watch the white flag down from Chip Warren. The field moves into the tri-oval, 15-degree banking. They lap a back marker, and there's 3 cars running less than a half second apart. Remember, Baker's already established the pole. He can't lose it. Really, he's running this race as a test. His whole effort here, Dick, is to find out how the car's going to work in the 500.
And win some money, perhaps, some more.
$11,000 to win this. It could bring his earnings up to about $70,000 for the past 4 days. Now, here they are in heavy traffic. Slipping, sliding through cars, down to the finish. Baker in front. Cale Yarborough pulls up on the inside. He's trying a slingshot here. But the sheer horsepower keeps Baker out in front as they come to the tri-oval. Checkered flag is about to fall, and the winner of that first 125.
And it's Buddy Baker, and we'll be back with him, the winner of the 125 and tomorrow's 500 pole sitter, after this word from your local stations.
Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier, in the television premiere of Marathon Man, the CBS Sunday movie special at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
American Airlines introduces its new companion fare for February and March. Any adult who pays a regular day coach or night coach fare can take somebody along for half the day coach fare. And each of them can take along 2 children under 12 absolutely free. I'll pay coach fare.
And I'll pay half.
4 kids can fly free. It's true. Don't laugh.
We're American Airlines, doing what we do best.
Fiat presents Strada. Front-wheel drive, Italian flair. Strada, with a remarkable new engine that delivers better mileage. Better than the gas engine Rabbit. Plus, a gas-saving, engine-saving 5th gear standard. It's a car with style and class and no expensive habits, beginning with the price. Strada, another Italian work of art.
Channel 2, New York.
Welcome back to the Daytona International Speedway. We want to remind you, you'll be seeing plenty of unique and exciting features coming up in the future weeks on the CBS Sports Spectacular. On March 3rd and March 10th, we'll have the Women's Pro Bowlers Tour. And then on March 24th, the CBS Sports Spectacular goes to Japan to capture the sights and sounds of a most unique country. And we will highlight the World Cup ski event from Furano, the final World Cup ski event of the year. On March 31st, we will be in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we will roast Pete Rose and some of the people you may know about. Don Rickles, Milton Berle, Phyllis Diller, and a host of other entertainment and sports personalities as well. Well, right now, let's go down to Brock Yates, who's with the winner of the first 125 qualifying race, Buddy Baker.
It's hard some of the other times out there, Buddy. Did you push it all the way, or was Cale really running a little bit easier than you thought he would?
Well, Cale was running awfully well. I noticed when I started around him, you know, I think he was kind of waiting on me to set me up on that last lap, but there was some slow cars in the way when I come down on the backstretch over there, and I drafted off of them, and it was enough to pull me on through.
What does this mean for the 500?
Well, I'm just real proud of Spectra Oil. It's the first time we've been together, and here we are in Victory Circle 3 times in 1 week, and I just hope that it runs like this for 500 miles. If it does, we're going to be trouble.
All right, Brock, we have already seen highlights of one of the 125 qualifying races, and right now I'm standing in the garage area. This is a very key location here at Daytona. This is where the engines are tuned, the cars are checked with a fine-tooth comb, and ultimately races are won and lost right here in the garage area. We'll be back later with a longer look at the second of the 125 qualifying races, but right now it's time for our fight of the week. Today, the European Welterweight Championship, and right now let's join Tim Ryan. We are back at the Daytona International. And, you know, this spectacle carries a lot more than just cars going around a track and the pits where they work on the cars in the garage area. People what makes this event go. And a lot of the people journey from far distances and spend a lot of time here to watch the races. And this is a group right here that journeyed 17 hours from Baltimore, and they are staying in their camper for an entire week to watch the races. And you are holding, has to be the youngest race fan of all, 11 weeks old. I can't believe that.
Yes, his daddy drives a race car.
Really? Yeah. But he doesn't know that yet, does he?
No, not yet. He will soon enough, though.
You know, there's a certain phenomenon of the people that come to auto races. As you know, many of the race drivers come from the South, and this is where the thing is really a religion. Let me ask you this, sir. What is it about the auto racing, about the Daytona, that you will journey so long to come to see?
I don't know. It's in my blood. I've been in it since 1951, and my son drives. I used to drive, and now my son drives, and he drives the super speedways, and I think it's fabulous. I think it's one of the greatest things going.
You know, the amazing thing is that people spend a lot of time down here. Now, we talked about 3 weeks that they've been here for. Now, have you enjoyed your time here? Now, you have the camper and the cars all around here. You having a good time?
Oh, I love it. I love it. And after the race is over, we're going to stay another week so we can really enjoy it. After the races are over, then we're going to relax.
Then you're going to relax.
Yeah, well, this is our bad period right now, yeah, because with the car and all that. But after everything's over, we're going to relax for a week, and then we're going home to the snow.
You know, there are a lot of people in many areas who, don't understand auto racing, and they say, what is the great attraction for it? What is it to you?
I love putting the gas in the car and working like crazy for 1 week and then enjoying myself for the next week.
Well, that really says it all. The people are really having a good time here. This is what it's all about in auto racing. And we'll be back with more here from Daytona in a little while, but we're going to go to some cold country right now. It's time for the World Powerlifting Championships. And for that, let's go to Turku, Finland, and Gary Bender.
Ken Squire here at the Daytona International Speedway. The prelude to the Daytona 500 on Sunday. A serious crash ensued on the third lap today as the field was coming out of turn number 2. Car number 43, Freddie Smith, losing control, spins to the inside of the track, and then the car backs across the speedway. The Spartanburg, South Carolina driver going directly in front of Joe Frisson. Frisson's car taking the full impact on the driver's side, bouncing into the air, and then sliding 1,000 feet down the track with the Golden Valley, Minnesota driver on board, having no control whatsoever. 43, Smith's car continuing to spin with cars at 190 miles an hour zipping by. Frisson's car had just come to rest, but the crash was far from over. Car number 09, Delcourt, plunges into the side of Frisson's car. A fiery crash ensues. The 09 continues its spin, and behind this crash, the worst part of the crash. Number 4, up on 2 wheels, is Buddy Biles of Jacksonville, Florida. He rides it down, but car number 68, Don Williams, was not so fortunate. The Madison, Florida driver crashing head onto the wall from another angle. Frisson's car, paralyzed, center of the track, stricken. And then the 09 Court losing control. He's been tagged. He goes into the back end of car number 50 and sends it into that fiery spin. Williams' car had tagged the outside wall and then crashed down to the inside of the track. Joe Frisson, in that fiery crash, remember the fuel tanks were on board. It was only the third lap. They were full. Climbs out. Runs away with burns to his face. The only seriously injured driver, Don Williams. He suffered head and shoulder injuries as well as a broken right arm. 7 drivers in the crash. Don Williams, the only one seriously injured. That's the story here at Daytona in the Sportsman 300. Let's go to Gary Bender in Turku, Finland.
Speedway. Well, we take one giant step. At Daytona Beach, Florida, the 125-mile qualifier. We had the highlights of Buddy Baker winning again this week. What do we have this time?
Well, now we're going to see the second 125-mile race, and this is a pressure cooker. Baker, the odds-on favorite in the highlights, comes through, showing the muscle, winning the pole, now comes out and wins a 125, which he didn't need to do. We don't know what's going to happen with developing the second half of the field. Will WALTRIP be able to get by a Donnie Allison in this event? And how about A.J. FOYT, who we saw here a year ago, flipping 6 times into turn number 1? This is his return to Daytona. It'll be interesting to see what A.J. does. But more interesting is this field, which has a lot of freshman drivers in it, further back in the field, Dick. They're going to be struggling, striving just to get in the Daytona 500 tomorrow. And in this race, it's either 15th or say goodbye.
So, Ken, in other words, the lesser lights really have no respect for the big guys here.
Absolutely none. The pressure is really on. If you don't make it today, all the work you've done preparing for the Daytona 500 ends 3 days, actually, before this race gets underway.
Well, we've set the table for the 125-mile qualifier coming up, and we'll be back with that after this word from your local stations.
Burt Reynolds stars as a booze-running, motor-gunning bolt of white lightning on the CBS Tuesday night movies at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Mario Andretti belongs to a very special circle, the Schaefer Circle. Because he knew that winning the World Driving Championship meant getting every last bit out of your machine and yourself every time. At Schaefer, we brew our beer to taste great every time. Don't you deserve a beer that good?
So come into the Schaefer Circle.
I'm Minolta XG7, your automatic 35mm camera. Just turn me on, point, focus, and shoot for professional quality pictures. With my auto winder, I don't miss a thing. Love that action. Naturally, I can change lenses. Superb Minolta telephoto, superior Minolta wide angles. Here's bright eyes. We're off on the town. I'm Minolta XG7, your automatic 35mm camera.
Cheap Show tonight at 6.
30 cars are on the track for this, the second 125-mile qualifying race to establish the outside row for tomorrow's Daytona 500. The drivers who will be immediately behind that man, Donnie Allison from Hueytown, Alabama. Familiar name there in A.J. Foyt, but as we move down the list, we see a lot of journeymen, a lot of rookies. Ken Squire, this should make for a most interesting race.
Yeah, it could make for a lot of what you might call action. Right? Old Upper Boddington Flash just joining us, David Aubs.
Well, absolutely, Ken. As Dick said, we've got some rookies in there. One of them, Joe Milliken, is on the second row, alongside a man, of course, who is no rookie, A.J. Foyt. And sometimes these drivers, when they get involved in a high-speed draft on a track like Daytona, some of the older hands, like A.J., are a little bit leery to start with.
Milliken has won here in the 300 preparatory race, the sportsman race to the 500, but this is his first experience going for the big one. There you see Darrell Waltrip up on the outside. What a success story he was last year. And Donnie Allison, picture of him there, sitting on the pole. He has secured a position in the front row. But after the front row, it's wide open. Here we go to decide the outside positions for the Daytona 500 tomorrow, other than the front row. Field coming down, Donnie Allison on the point. He's been a previous pole sitter here. Waltrip alongside in a car he calls Maybelline. Why can't you be true? On the break, Donnie Allison goes to the lead. Notice way up against the wall, the yellow and blue car. That is another rookie, Dale Earnhardt. And there's Milliken, David, dropping down to the inside to fight with Waltrip.
Right alongside Waltrip going into turn one, trying to get the draft off Donnie Allison. And there he is, still sticking out, going through turn two. Right behind them now is Dale Earnhardt, who's crept up there from row 4.
A.J. Foyt dropping back to the 5th position as the field unlimbers down the back straightaway for the first time. Going into turn number 3 at nearly 200 miles an hour. Look at Allison draw away. 4-car length advantage, David.
He's drawn away well there, but right behind him is Darrell Waltrip like an avenging shadow, and right behind him is Dale Earnhardt, one of those rookies.
David, when do you draft and when do you not draft when you're out there?
Well, most of the time around here, Dick, you try and draft. It's an absolutely essential part of NASCAR racing. And there's Dale Earnhardt dropping into the draft of Darrell Waltrip to try and pull himself past Donnie Allison.
Which he does. It is Waltrip going for the lead. Earnhardt goes alongside the inside flanker as he tries to move through. Earnhardt had a horrible crash in Atlanta 3 years ago on the Johnny Ray car, and here he is back running strong. 3-car dice for the lead.
A lot of inexperienced drivers out there. How does that affect the experienced people? Are they wary of them?
Very wary, I would say. Dale Earnhardt has made a break with the lead to Donnie Allison and Darrell Waltrip, and they'll be watching him pretty closely when he's in front of them, or of course in the mirrors, because any accident that you have on these closed-circuit speedways can be anybody else's accident, can turn into yours pretty quickly.
Allison showing a lot of power of the Haas Ellington car, thrusting that machine back in front. A.J. Foyt rides back in the 4th position now. Here are the front 3. A rookie, Earnhardt, battling for Rookie of the Year honors, goes underneath Donnie Allison.
Donnie will be watching him pretty closely as they go through, coming down here off turn 2 onto that 3,100-foot back straightaway.
Now, Waltrip has won in the 125-mile qualifiers here previously, but he's never won the 500, nor has Donnie Allison, and he, like his brother Bobby, has been here since the early 60s. Bobby, of course, victorious last year, defending Daytona 500 champion. Earnhardt, the rookie, sticks it right in there on a turn number 4. Here they come. Better than 190 miles per hour for the start-finish line. You can see right in the window of Darrell Waltrip's automobile. As they come down, heading for turn number 1, there's trouble up in turn number 4. It's Lenny Pond careening into the wall, sawing the front end off his car number 54, one of the James Hilton machines. In replay, let's look again. Directly behind Lenny Pond is Bellingham, Massachusetts, Jeff Bodine. Bodine, it looked like Pond cut in front of him and head-on right at almost the identical spot where Don McTavish was killed some years ago, David.
I think Lenny Pond tried to get in the draft of the 3 cars immediately in front of them and just misjudged the fact that Bodine was quite where he was.
Well, there you see Lenny Pond's automobile badly wrinkled and crinkled to the front end.
Having hit the wall, he did a good job, though. He kept the power on the car and kept the car nose into the wall. If he'd lifted off the power, it might well have rolled back into the track.
The Virginian Lenny Pond walks away from another one here at Daytona, and we'll be back as we're under caution with Waltrip in front, Dale Earnhardt in second, Donnie Allison in third, with more of this 125-mile qualifying race after this word.
A family is about to lose its home forever. Not the home on the left. Allstate Homeowners Insurance can pay to rebuild that house. The real disaster is on the right. The owner died before the mortgage was paid. Allstate Life has mortgage protection insurance to help give your family a debt-free home if you die. You need mortgage protection insurance, too. So your family won't lose its home, see your Allstate agent for both kinds of insurance. Make sure your home lives on. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Every day you lose a little piece of yourself. More hair on the brush and less on you. These are Protein 29 conditioning hair grooms and sprays. They can't do anything about the hair you're losing, but Protein 29 can do something about the hair you still have. Protein 29 actually adds protein to individual hair shafts, helps make your hair look thicker, fuller, healthier, more like it used to look. The more hair you're losing, the more you need Protein 29. It takes care of the hair that's still there.
At Yamaha, we don't just have a little test track out behind the factory. We also test our engineering ideas wherever they race motorcycles. From Carlsbad to Watkins Glen. From Daytona to Le Mans. In fact, Yamaha is the winningest racer in the world. And every time we race, we learn more about how to build you a better motorcycle.
Biggest week of racing of the year here at the Daytona International Speedway. And before we left you, Lenny Pond crashed, and he's down in the pit area with Brock Yates.
Lenny, it looked as if you got either bumped or something broke when he got on the wall like that.
Well, Jeff and myself got together coming off a forward. We just touched enough to turn me into the wall. And, you know, from there on, I was just trying to keep it against the wall and wait for it to stop because the day was over.
You were ended up sitting exactly 180 degrees of the way you like to be on a racetrack. That's got to be a driver's nightmare out there.
Well, it was. You know, I kept trying to get it to straighten up. Even after it slowed down a whole lot, it almost stopped, but it just wouldn't do it. But after it did stop, I looked around, I couldn't see anybody coming, so I just let it go back across the track. I knew it was rolling free, and so I just let it go on back, get it to wait.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, we're back to the race. Dick Stockton, along with Ken Squire and David Hobbs here in this 125 qualifier.
And it's A.J. Foyt fighting with Joe Milliken for the lead. Darrell Waltrip is right in there fighting for third. There you see the 4-time Indianapolis champion, Foyt, in front with a rookie, Joe Milliken, running second place, David.
Well, Joe Milliken started on the second row of this race and has been right up at the front the whole time, driving extremely well. Now, he is a rookie, but hasn't had as much experience as some of the other rookies in this race, and they will be a little bit nervous about him, I'm sure.
Waltrip with a slingshot roars by 2 of them. It is now Waltrip out in front. That's Richard Brooks running in fourth, running very well with his new racing team this year. Darrell Waltrip in the lead. Foyt and Milliken still going at it back here in that second place. Joe Milliken, who used to be part of the Petty racing team, drove their sportsman car here at Daytona and won the Sportsman 300 with it. now driving the car that Benny Parsons had 1 year back.
Another rookie lying up there in 6th place is Harry Gant in the black number 12. He's also a name to be watched in this weekend's bonanza of speed down here at Daytona.
A lot of these drivers have reputations among their own peers. What is Darrell Waltrip's?
That's Jaws. He's controversial. He's flamboyant. As you see from the Goodyear blimp, he's taken a 2-car length advantage over the field. He's a lot of fun. Here he is, trying to stay in front of one of the greatest drivers in the history of the game, A.J. Foyt. He's something, isn't he, David?
A.J. Foyt is something in anything. He's done very well in the few times he's raced here at Daytona. Of course, he's a past winner. And A.J. also, like Darrell Waltrip, is not one of the easiest men in the world to get along with.
You know, when you talk about a race like the Daytona 500 tomorrow and the qualifying today, you need a guy like A.J. Foyt in there. That's the name that people who don't even follow auto racing around the country know easily.
And he's highly respected here in this race by all the other stock car people. They appreciate him. They like him very, very much.
Well, he's a big draw down here, and a lot of the NASCAR regulars, of course, like to see him get beaten. On the other hand, they like to have him in the field to beat him.
Waltrip staying in front. This is the guy that won the World 600 last year. This is for sure the next superstar, Dick Stockton. No question about it. Waltrip is a phenomenon unto himself. He creates a lot of press, but he also drives as well as he talks. AJ stays right there, and now you see Donnie Allison has slipped up into 3rd position. Here's Allison down the inside. This is one beautiful driver. Been here so many years looking for his first 500 victory. Goes by AJ, his old teammate. Donnie Allison in 2nd. Waltrip in 1st. AJ out back.
Now in the jockeying for position, why would Allison pick that point to move ahead of AJ, and why would AJ allow it to happen?
David?
Well, it was a classic case of getting the slingshot down the back straightaway. He gained speed on AJ all the way down to 31-foot straightaway and passed him at the end.
Now there you see the Dave Marcus car and Harry Gant. They're battling for 5th position. And remember, 15 positions count to get into the 500. For 15 others, it's goodbye. Go home when this one's over.
Buddy Baker earlier won the 125 qualifier, although he had set the record speed for the
Whoa, we have an
position.
engine going, Dick. This is car number 1. That is Donnie Allison, his engine erupting up here, burning the piston up in that car.
Yet another disappointment for Donnie Allison at Daytona. As you say, he's been here so many times, and his success record here is really not very good.
But I bet he's thankful it happened here and not in the 500. I mean, it's only a 125-mile race. He still is locked into the front row, so now they know this engine would not have made it had he run it tomorrow in the prestigious 500.
And again, we have to reiterate that Donnie Allison, despite the fact that he's leaving right here, will be starting in the 2nd spot tomorrow.
That's right. On the past Sunday, when they ran time trials, 2 laps, the faster the 2 laps, the qualifying mark. Donnie Allison, 2nd fastest to Buddy Baker, there up front. Now look at AJ pull in. Here it comes. Down and dirty for a finish. It's Waltrip in front. A relative youngster compared to the experience of A.J. Foyt, who's won in everything there is to race, including the 1972 Daytona 500.
There's Dick Brooks in his new ride, putting on a pretty good show behind him.
And Earnhardt is in 4th. Dale Earnhardt, the rookie, is in 4th with the 5th spot going to Marcus. He's pulled up the 6th spot to Harry Gant. He's pulled up a rookie, and 7th. Massachusetts driver Jeff Bodine, he's right in there too.
So a lot of the rookies are making the most out of this opportunity.
Well, this is where you want to show off. All the leading car owners, the patrons of the art are here today, and they really want to make themselves look good in these 125-mile qualifying races.
There's Dale Earnhardt trying to take away 3rd spot from Dick Brooks. Going low on the banking. His car goes low. The car must be set up very well. He can run low and high, but of course he is out of the draft down there.
He tucks back in off into turn 4, down that 1,600-foot straightaway where there's always action here at Daytona. White flag, 1 lap to go. Okay, David, how's it going to end?
Well, that's a nasty question to ask me right now. I'd say it's going to end at a high speed.
Here is Earnhardt on the inside, getting beneath Richard Brooks. He takes over 3rd place.
Okay, 1,300-foot straightaway to go at turns 3 and 4. Can Dale Earnhardt take yet another spot away and come 2nd in this race?
Foyt tucks right in there in the draft at over 200 miles an hour, tagging along for the ride. Earnhardt, he makes his move on A.J. Foyt. He's low going into turn 3, David. He may have shot his arrow a little too early here.
Well, if he's got the steam to come off ahead of A.J., he's okay. Can he get back into line, though, behind Darrell Waltrip to draft? No, he can't. Dick Brooks is being drafted by A.J. Foyt and pulls himself back past Dale Earnhardt.
Earnhardt falling 2 positions in the last 2 corners of the race. Let's look again and replay it, what happened here to Dale Earnhardt in the blue and yellow car on the inside.
He's down low, but he's out of the draft. Darrell Waltrip's making a nice draft for A.J. FOYT, who's immediately behind him, and right behind him is Jeff Brooks and Dave Marcus.
Dramatic Daytona finish in a 125-mile qualifying race as Darrell Waltrip and his car Maybelline come home victorious. Let's go to victory lane.
Darrell? Oh, what's his name from Texas just wouldn't give an inch, would he? I wasn't really worried, but knowing AJ the way I do, I didn't want to take any chances. So he wanted to draft me to the line, and I felt like I should let him stay right behind me and not try to run off and leave him. But on second thought, I said, well, knowing AJ the way I do, I better leave myself a little bit of room, so I did.
And here's our order of finish for this 125 qualifier, Darrell Waltrip, and he comes away with $11,500. The old warrior, A.J. FOYT in second, Richard Brooks third, and the rookie, Dale Earnhardt, comes in fourth. So the stage is indeed set for tomorrow's big Daytona 500-mile auto race. And as we take a look at the distinguished field, Buddy Baker and Donnie Allison leading, I will ask the experts, Ken Squire, David Hobbs, who they think will win. Ken, you're first.
Oh, let's see. I don't think a guy who's won it before is going to win it again, which means Buddy Baker, who's been here since '61 trying, or Darrell Waltrip, who won this 125-mile qualifier so beautifully, or Donnie Allison.
All right, but I want you to name one, Ken.
I think all his bad luck's behind him. I think it's Donnie Allison.
All right, David Hobbs.
Well, on his form this week, of course, Buddy Baker's got to be a very strong favorite. But on his form at the Daytona Speedway over the years, I'm afraid that Buddy just doesn't seem to have the luck here. Way back in the field there, of course, is Richard Petty, number 43, who showed some form in that first qualifying race. But I think on the form in that first qualifying race, I'm going to pick Cale Yarborough, who's just had a fantastic couple of years.
All right.
Cale Yarborough? How could you do that?
David Hobbs likes Cale Yarborough, and Ken Squire likes Donnie Allison. You'll find out who wins tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen, for allowing me into your lair, and we'll return to a much envied location here at the Speedway in just a moment.
This is one of the 5 new Yamaha Specials. The most beautiful motorcycles we've ever built, with low-riding stepped seat and handlebars that reach for you instead of the other way around. But looks is only the beginning. Just feel that 4-stroke power. Now the decision. Do you buy a Yamaha Special for the beauty or the beast?
I want something to drink. Fiddle with beer. Get away, Nebulous. I want something special.
Bull.
Bull?
The Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull. It's a special premium brew that's in a class by itself.
Magnificent taste, Nebulous. You may have either of my daughter's hands in marriage.
If you want to change your pace, don't make Bull taste. Don't say beer, say Bull. Bull! The Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull.
You can save yourself a lot of valuable time and energy by using the Bell System Yellow Pages, because it's got so much information and because it's so reliable. In fact, when you think about it, with just a simple phone call, you can get just about anything brought to your home without ever having to leave your home. When you need to know who, what, where, when, and why, let your fingers do the walking through the Bell System Yellow Pages.
Standing at the winner's circle here at the Daytona International Speedway, and this week, many people from CBS Sports stood in the winner's circle as they accepted Emmy Awards for their work in 1977 and 1978. We would like to salute them right now. For technical achievement for Super Bowl 12, Artie Tin. Outstanding sports personality, Jack Whitaker. The best live sports special, the first Muhammad Ali-Leon Spinks fight, producer Frank Cherkinian. The best live sports series, the NFL Today, the producer Michael Pearl. And a warm and very happy award for us, the best edited sports special for The Impossible Dream, ballooning across the Atlantic, to our coordinating producer on the CBS Sports Spectacular, Ed Gorin. And we'd like to pay tribute to some other sports Emmy winners this past week. For direction of the AFC Championship football game, Ted Nathanson of NBC. The best edited sports series, The Way It Was, and the Emmy for film editing to Steve Sable. And tomorrow afternoon, Driving up victory lane, standing right where I am in the winner's circle, will be the winner of the Daytona 500-mile auto race, and he will receive the following, standing right here in the winner's circle: a check upwards of $50,000, a handsome trophy, but perhaps the most satisfying, a kiss on the cheek from 3 lovely ladies. Not bad at all, and now you can see why I really relish this assignment this week. Well, we'll see you next week. Until then, this is Dick Stockton saying so long for the CBS Sports Spectacular.
The CBS Sports Spectacular is a presentation of CBS Sports.